Thiruchitrambalam, Hara Hara Nama Parvati Badaye, Hara Hara Mahadeva, Sitsavesa, Sivasidambaram, தென்னாருடைய சிவனே போற்றி எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் எடுக்கும் மக்கதே இந்தமிழ் செய்யுளாய் நடக்கும் மேன்மை நமக்கருள் செய்திட தடக்கை ஐந்துடை தாழ் செவி நீள்முடி கடக்களிற்றை கருத்துள் இருத்துவாம் உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து போதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நிர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்து ஆடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம் சைவத்தின் மேற்சமயம் வேறிலை அதில் சார் சிவமாம் தெய்வத்தின் மேற் தெய்வம் இல்லனும் நான்மறை செம்பொருள் வாய்மை வைத்த சீர் திருத்தேவாரமும் திருவாசகமும் உய்வை தரச் செய்த நால்வர் பொற்றாள் எம்முயிர் துணையே தில்லைவாழந்தனரே முதலாக சீர்படைத்த தொல்லையதாம் திருத்தொண்ட தொகைடியார் பதம் போற்றி உலையவர் புராண கதை உலகரிய விரித்துரைத்த செல்வமலி குன்றத்தூர் செக்கிழாரடி போற்றி ஆதாரமாகிய மாணிக்க வாசகர் பாதார விந்தம் படிவோம் பண்டு செய்த தீதான பாவங்கள் எல்லாம் தீர்ந்து ஞானோதயம் வந்து கூடிடுமே திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Dear devotees, welcome back to the Periyapuranam Discourse series. With the blessings of the Almighty Lord Shiva, we are here to think through the wonderful history of Poiyadimai, illatha, pulavar, and Shri Pugazh Nayanar today. Let me bow my head to the lotus feet of Deva Chekla Swamigal and also to the 57th Pontiff of Gunamati Kalyanapuri Adina, Sri Gurumas Sannidhanam, Sri Rajasarvana Swamigal as well. By the grace of the Almighty Lord Shiva, let's go ahead and get started with the Poiyadimai, illatha, pulavar history. We're actually starting the next section. You may remember Tirthandra Tohai, every song of Tirthandra Tohai forms a specific section. So Televalandra Sirikam, Ilemalinda Sirikam, and so on. So we completed Vargunda Vanamulayar Sirikam last week. As we completed Kuttava Nayanar, that got over. Now we're entering into the next section, which is Poiyadimai, illatha, Sirikam. So the first Nayanmar in that Sirikam is Poiyadimai, illatha, pulavar. And you may remember, we discussed at the very beginning. So we have 63 Nayanmars plus 9 group of devotees. Tohediyar, which we call Nayan Tohediyar's group of devotees. Group of devotees in the sense a specific group of devotees. They do specific service, like Thillaivalandanar, Uppodum Thirumeni Tinduvar, Pattarai Panivargal, like that. Poiyadimai, illatha, pulavar. Poiyadimai, illatha, pulavar means the truthful poets, the poets of non-false slavery. They sing only the fame of Lord Shiva, nothing else. So they sing the Lord who sang the Vedas in their poems, and that springs from the heart. So really sing the structure. They are all experts of the language, like Nakira Deva Nayanar, Kallar Deva Nayanar, Kabila Deva Nayanar. Realizing the structure of Tamil grammar, the clarity of the language, and the widespread knowledge in the literature are for praising the Lord Shiva. They realize that. Not everyone realizes that. You may come across many people, the Tamil scholar, Tamil experts. They know this, they know this, they know this and that. They're ocean. No. If they don't praise the Lord Shiva, it's useless. That's why they would say the great Saint Appar Swamigal said in Palayari, Devaram, Aalurum Tamil. If a Tamil is used to praise Lord Shiva, it makes sense. A Tamil that doesn't praise Lord Shiva is of no use. Alura Tamil. So the structure of any language, a structure of grammar of any language, the clarity of it, the widespread knowledge in the literature should be used to praise the Lord, Lord's grace and glory. So these poets are renowned in their service to God. They sing only the Lord Shiva, who mingles in all the emotions of the one, who involves making blissful. And they serve in the sincerity of slavery to Lord Shiva. They don't open their mouth for any carnal or worldly needs. They don't do that. So they are great ones who enjoy the splendid sunlight of Shankara and not the faded lights of stars. So let the glorious dedication of the intellect for the crescent crowned Lord by the Poiyadimai illatha pulavar Nayanmar stay in our mind forever. So all of them, is it really surprising that these poets who were committed to singing the praise of Lord Shiva day in, day out, ultimately reached Lord Shiva's feet, lotus feet. So that's pretty much about Poiyadimai illatha pulavar history. The next one is the great Pugalchola Nayanar, such a wonderful king, great Nayanmar. You may recall when we thought through the wonderful history of Eribatta Nayanar, we also covered a bit of Pugalchola Nayanar thought as well, where he was ready to take a blame on himself and ready to end his life because of the mistake made by his royal elephant. Um, but Lord Shiva um, blessed Eribattanayana. We talked about that. So here with this is a history for Pogalchoranayana himself. There we covered Pogalchoranayana in Eribattanayana Puranam. Pogalchoranayana was ruling over the Chola Empire. He was the emperor of Cholas, and he was ruling from Urayu, the capital of Chola Empire. During Nayanar's time, Shaivism flourished like anything. All the pujas were performed and the festivals were celebrated without any lapse in all Shiva temples. Nayanar himself is a Chola's emperor, right? And we just discussed in Kutu Nayanar Puranam, the Cholas um, get their coronation done by the priest of Tillai right in front of the dancing Lord Nataraja. So they have the tradition, great devotee by Shiva devotees by birth, generation. He once Nayanar, the great emperor Pogalchola Nayanar, went to Karur, another capital city of Chola's empire. Um, the traditional city of Cholas, Karur, where we have a wonderful temple, Karur Adilayapar, Shri Pasupati Ishwarar. He was accompanied by courtmen, beloved relations. He rides straight to the temple. He bowed in front of the Lord of Karur, whose bow is a great mountain. And before going to his palace, he went to the temple first. And then he reached the palace. The gems of empires were submitted to him. There are a lot of kings were they lined up to pay their obeisance to Pugalchola Nayanar. Nayanar was just reviewing the gems and tributes offered by all the kings and other emperors. He came to know that only one king, whose name is Adigan, volunteered the trouble of not accepting his empire. As it was the tradition of the kings to pay tributes to the superior kings, he ordered his four forces to overrun the fort of Adigan. The powerful, the Pogalchola Nayanar's army was very powerful, plenty in number, courageous army of Nayanar literally powdered the fort of enemy in the fight. So Adigan lost. Then, as they celebrate the victory, all the soldiers and generals, army generals, brought the heap of heads to show their valor to the king. So when Pogalchola was just walking through the palace and seeing, and the soldiers were holding the heads of the enemies, he was giving them gifts for their bravery, to recognize their valor. And as he was giving gifts to all the soldiers, he just noticed a head with plaited hair, which is a mark of Shiva devotee, Jadamuti. He noticed a head with Jadamuti. He was petrified. Though it was the custom of kings of the olden days to fight and enlarge the frontiers, Polchola Nayanar, the peerless king, felt it was a crime that had happened. One of my soldiers holding a head of Shiva devotee. It was a crime that happened. He said in all sadness, is it the way I am ruling the empire? Even after seeing the matted head of Shiva devotee, how am I still governing with great fame? The Chekla Swamigal composed a wonderful phrase. Here it is, Thiruchitrambalam. Tardangi kadanmuditta sataitangum turmudiyar. நீர்தாங்கும் சடைப்பெருமான் நெறிதாங்கண்டவரானார் சீர்தாங்கும் இவர்வேணி சிரந்தாங்கி வரக்கண்டும் பார்தாங்க இருந்தேனோ பழிதாங்குவேன் என்றார். So the devotee completed his duty. He served his king. He lost his life. And it appears that is the devotee of Lord Shiva, as he has Jaramudi. And is this the way I am ruling the empire? Am I even entitled to still govern? No. Do I have fame? No. I have blame. So he felt bad, and he ordered the ministers to make his son the next new king and guide him in the right path of Lord Shiva. Did they try to convince him, my king, it was not your mistake, our soldiers? No. I am leading the army. So I am fully responsible and I feel accountable for this unforgivable crime that happened. One of my soldiers killed a Shiva devotee. Can't blame anyone, but he took a blame on his own. Then he asked the ministers to form a pit of fire. He smeared himself in holy ash everywhere, held the matted head of the Shiva devotee in a golden plate. He was holding in a golden plate, and he prayed to the Lord and entered the fire, chanting Panchakshara with the glory of God quenching his heart. He entered the fire, but he actually entered the feet of Lord Shiva. The feet that's unreachable for non-believers. So he reached the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, and everybody started praising the level of the devotion and the intense love he had for Shiva devotees. And then his nayanar merged with the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. His son continued to rule the Chola Empire. So think about it. That's Shaivam. He gave up his own empire just for his soldier's mistake. He was ready to give up. He gave up his life. So these are the lessons learned from Periyapuranam. Well, in what we would have said in his place, oh, it's just a mistake. It's a mistake. We'll do some prachitta. He didn't look for prachitta. He just ended his life. That's our Nayanmar, right? That's why we call them Nayanmar. So let the great devotion of Pugazh Nayanar stay in our mind forever. Let his devotion spread and lead us. That's pretty much about the history of Pugazh Nayanar. Let's close the session for today. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம் என்ற பின்பம் பெருகும் இயல்பினால் ஒன்று காதலித்து உள்ளம் ஒங்கிட பன்றுளார் அடியார் அவர் வான்புகழ் நின்றது எங்கும் நிலவி உலகலாம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஹரஹர நம பார்வதி பதையே ஹரஹர மகாதேவா சிற்சபேசா சிவசிதம்பரம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். பிரான் புகழ்ச்சோழ நாயனார் மலடிகள் போற்றி போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.